The chatter around other schools pursuing Cam Coleman. Auburn's got to keep him.
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zach Blackerby, and thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Happy Charlie Tuesday to all who celebrate. We're joined by Auburn message board legend, the Charlie 5, also known as his real name, Kyle Rush. He's the man over at the barn. He hosts the Top Button podcast. Where are we as a roster? Alex Golesh said some interesting things about that, as far as, also who they may target in the portal. The more I see of Alex Golesh, the more I like. We'll touch on some of that, as well as far as some things that stood out at his presser yesterday. Kyle, what your opinions on that too? But there's so much smoke, and it's coming in weird forms that we don't typically see. And we're kind of in this new era of college football still. So we don't fully know what's normal, but the chatter around the tampering of Cam Coleman is tremendous. And it's coming in kind of weird ways. It's a lot of like anonymous folks on social media. Like, you haven't had, some, big name, whether it's on the Auburn beat or the SEC beat or college football, come out and say like, oh my goodness, like Cam Coleman's being tampered with. But the chatter around it, it's so fascinating and it's so loud. Yeah. And you couple that with like what DJ Durkin said, when he was interim head coach, about all of these players are getting calls from other schools. Like, nobody's hiding that people are tampering. And so I just can't imagine. I can't imagine what people are throwing at Cam Coleman right now. And Auburn's got to do everything they can to shut it down.
Well, they'd be crazy not to. I would think you kind of smell blood. If you smell blood in the water with Cam Coleman, you're going to do everything you can to try to get that kid to be a part of your team. Like, he's elite in every sense of the word, like possibly a top, one of the top half draft picks next year with another good season. So it is loud, but it's not surprising to me, like, whatsoever. I'm honestly surprised that it's not louder. You know what I mean? Like, from an official standpoint, like, you got Pete Nakos or somebody saying reported $2.5 million offers for Cam Coleman on the table at multiple, SEC schools or something like that.
Is that because it's like against the rules? Like, it's still like there's no gray area there. Like, that is against the rules. Now, there's no punishment for it that we know of.
Yeah.
But maybe that's why it's not being reported like that.
Well, the thing is, like, what even are the rules for tampering? Do we know what they are? Like,
you can't talk to kids on other rosters, but the question of like who can't talk to them,
that's the
so
question.
vague. Like, is it tampering if a booster of a school who's not hired by the university talks to a kid on another roster? Like, I don't know how you really quantify that.
Or what if they're not even talking to the kid? What if they're talking to his high school coach? Or what if they're talking to his uncle? What if they're talking to a cousin who is important in his life?
Yeah, or a friend who, a friend of his who there's no relation at all, but the player's sitting next to him and the call's on speakerphone. Like, what's stopping any of that?
Exactly. Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't even know that we know what the actual definition of tampering is. Like,
that's right. That's
enforceable. So I guarantee you.
And not to cut you, but like Durkin kind of hinted at that.
Yeah.
Right. I think he was asked a follow up to those comments, and they were like, well, what does that mean? And Durkin's like, oh, it's so like there's so many different relationships. And I forget exactly what he said, but he was like, it's so broad and vague. We're like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah. Is there a player in college football where there is blood in the water, kind of like this, where there's a coaching change, there's something going on? Is there a player in college football of higher status than Cam Coleman right now that other people think they could probably get? Like Jeremiah Smith. Like, you're not getting Jeremiah Smith.
No, why would he leave Ohio State? Right.
You're not getting these guys from established programs. Is there somebody in a situation similar to Cam Coleman that's a bigger name than Cam Coleman?
Wow. Yeah, some of the names I'm thinking, like all the elite players in college football, they're either on a good team,
Yeah,
or they're on a bad team, but they're going to go to the draft. They're like
that's a good one too.
juniors, Like I'm thinking, like Penn State's got some dudes who are studs, but they're going to they're going to go to the draft.
Like DJ Lagway, is DJ Lagway that desirable anymore? Like, is he
No.
a higher premium than a Cam Coleman? I really don't think there is one.
I don't think so.
I think he is legitimately what people would deem as like the number one target, if you can even put a target. Call a kid that's not in the portal a target. I would
potential target, I guess. Yeah. No,
target in the whole country.
Yeah. Yeah. I won't push back on that at all. That's what a great way to phrase that. I think you're right.
Even, I mean, there's obviously going to be G5 kids like that North Texas quarterback. He's probably going to Oklahoma State. But like, there's a lot of those guys that just blew up. I mean, we've been talking about Byron Brown. There's guys like that are going to blow up. But from a P5 level, I don't know.
The assumption is for them to, I mean, we see this every year now with the portal, like, oh, you are trending up. Like you are better than your current situation. I don't follow like Penn State's roster. I don't follow Florida's roster that closely, but like all these schools, LSU's already hired their coach. So like probably nobody on their team's even going to leave that's of consequence. But like, are there other schools out there that have had those coaching turnovers? Who are some players that even remotely come close to Cam Coleman? I don't think they exist. Yeah, I'm with you.
It's not shocking to me at all that, everybody's going to assume he's going to go somewhere else because he is that guy. He is that guy in this cycle, I would imagine.
Did you think any of Alex Golesh's comments of talking, like, we got to figure out who wants to be here? And he talked about some of those guys are important. Some of those guys are important on our roster. Was that about Cam Coleman?
It's got to be. I maintain
it may not be specifically Cam Coleman. It could be Cam Coleman and a few other guys, but there's no way Cam Coleman wasn't lumped into that.
Sure, I maintain Cam Coleman just needs a good excuse to stay at Auburn. Whatever that could be money, and I'm sure money will play into it. It could be quarterback. It could be scheme. It could just be, just showing him the love. Like, I just think he needs an excuse to stay at Auburn. I will not get on board yet with this automatically he's gone, no matter what people on social media and Instagram comments and all that stuff say. Right. I think he just needs a good excuse to stay.
What a great opportunity for Golesh. I mean, you've got the home field advantage here as far as keeping him.
Yeah.
Like if you had to rank, where does was Cam Coleman go? I'm with you. I think it's more likely he's at Auburn than any other school next year. What a great way to, whenever Cam Coleman, if he makes that graphic where he's like, we're running it back, I support Alex Golesh, whatever. Boy, that is going to hit so hard.
It will.
That's going to hit so hard.
It'll be talked about for
trickle down effects of that too. Like if you're Golesh, or whoever, on Auburn staff that's going to lock him down, you got to do that before the portal opens and have enough time to really reap the benefits from that internally. And Golesh has come out here. I mean, he said it at his opening presser. He said it, Monday afternoon. He's made it very clear what his priority was. I mean, to the point similar like John Cohen, when Hugh Freeze was fired, he's like timeline priority as soon as possible after the Iron Bowl. He nailed it. He absolutely nailed it. Okay, now Golesh is putting out there publicly, my priority is keeping this roster.
He said
you can't do that and lose Cam Coleman.
No, as a matter of fact, I don't think it's unfair to say that may be now. Wide receiver may not be how you build the foundation of your team, but when it's Cam Coleman, that may be where you start because of the message that it will send. And I think Cam carries weight with other players. I think you honestly start there and lock it down and then see what happens from there.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's going to impact your quarterback. Does it impact Deuce a little bit? Yes. If Deuce were to leave, does it impact who you want to go get? I mean, we've mentioned Byron Brown. his quarterback at USF. Does it help with that? Maybe. I mean, he may come anyway if Alex Golesh calls him. But regardless, like it's going to help other positions too. Like they want to play next to Cam Coleman. So
No doubt.
especially in this offense. I mean, goodness, you thought we were going to hype Cam Coleman up last offseason. Just wait. Just wait.
Just wait.
So we'll see what
Just
happens.
watch.
Well, yeah, just watch. That's right. The more I see Alex Golesh, the more impressed I am. And it's not any one specific thing. It's the broad takeaways because it's something we haven't had in a long time. That's next, right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at Omaha Steaks. Nobody loves meat more than Kyle Rush.
Not a person alive.
And if we want to make somebody's Christmas better, get them a box of meat from Omaha
Whole
Steaks.
box of it.
Can you imagine just opening a box of meat, Kyle, and you've got all this great meat from Omaha Steaks?
It sounds too good to be true.
Yeah, it's not.
Mm.
It's not.
Tell me more.
Here, look, I'm about to read like 50 ways to save money off of one purchase. You ready?
Wow.
I'm just reading the copy here. During Omaha Steaks' Sizzle All the Way sale,
It's catchy.
Sizzle All the Way, you can stock up and save in a huge way. 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. So we're already half off. And then it gets better. Locked On college listeners, Locked On Auburn listeners, get an extra $35 off with code COLLEGE at checkout. So for half off this meat for Christmas. Save big on gourmet gifts and more holiday favorites with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Sizzle All the Way sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code COLLEGE at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com, code COLLEGE. Today's show also brought to you by our friends at Kia of Columbus, Kia Autosport of Columbus. I can't imagine buying a car anywhere other than with our friends at Kia Autosport Columbus. Their inventory you can browse online at KiaAutosportColumbus.com. If you're in the Auburn Opelika area, if you're in the Atlanta area, make the short drive over to Columbus, Georgia. They're right off of Whittlesey Boulevard. They will take care of you. When you get there, say, hey, I heard about you guys. Y'all are awesome. Heard about y'all at Locked On Auburn. They're going to give you a little bit of money off right then and there. And, of course, with any new Kia purchase, tires for life. Goodness gracious.
Crazy.
So, KiaAutosportColumbus.com. Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Everything that comes out of Alex Golesh's mouth, which is more than I expected. Not gonna lie to
Way
you.
more than I expected.
I mean, those first few, I'm like, it doesn't look like he likes talking. And then Eric Kane of Locked On Vols is like, no, he's a talker. And I'm like, really? Okay, yeah, I see it. But the way he talks, like none of it's wasted. There's no like long pauses. He's not saying every other word. And there's no question on where he sits on a certain topic.
No.
And that's because he has a plan. That's because everything he has is well thought out. The answer in short doesn't really matter. But I think the way he had the answer matters a ton. He was asked about Auburn turning down a bowl game. There was a report that Auburn turned down a bowl game. And
he explained every aspect.
Yes, he explained why. He explained why it was difficult. He explained if a few things were different, where they would consider it, the process behind it, talking with Cohen. And like, that's something that I think could be taken the wrong way because some Auburn fans like, Auburn turned out a bowl game. Why would you do that? We get to watch another Auburn game. Why would you do that?
Well, I'll tell you why.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, yeah, it'd be
Makes
stupid
sense.
to play a bowl game. Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, the way he went about that is like, okay, yeah, everything he does is that way because he has a plan. How many times did we talk about, okay, like what's the goal here over the last few years or lack of communication? I don't see that being a problem right now.
No, not in the least. Not in the least.
I think things are going to slip through the cracks here with Alex Golesh leading the way.
Absolutely not.
I'd be shocked with what I've seen so far. It's only been a week. I would be shocked.
People asked, because he said this so many times in his opening press conference, people asked, what does it mean to be process driven? Today's press conference is the answer. When every single answer, yesterday's press conference, it's like a 3-point essay. Like it had, like, this is the reason, this is the issue. These are the reasons why we did what we did. And this is what we're doing moving forward. Everything had a process. Everything seemed to have an answer. And you can tell, look, I've given speeches in college. Okay. I
give a speech every morning.
I can BS with the best of them. I can insert a ton of fluff. I can get you there. I can get you to 20 minutes if I need to. Okay. It was none of that. You know what I mean? Like single, you could almost hang on every single word. Like there was nothing that was just BS, like reading the creed and inserting, a bunch of just random things, talking about, things we just want to hear. Every single thing was intentional that he said. And it's incredible the stamina that he has for those.
Yeah, his breath work, top notch.
Incredible.
Top notch. So I loved that. The more I see of him, like the individual answers themselves, like I don't think anything he said shocked me, but the way he does go about it is so much different. It's so
in my head, I was wanting to know several things, but he would answer them before I would even like get to it, so because it's not just like that one singular question. He answers it from a multitude of angles. I was very impressed.
I'm going to be honest with you. I got chills at a certain moment. When he was talking about the one-on-one discussions with the players.
Yeah.
And he's like 100% of them said they love Auburn. He's like, y'all like this place? Like what's so great about this place? And he said 100%. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
And then he like paused and he's like, can you imagine how great it'll be if you start
winning?
And I could just picture some of them like stopping and looking at him like, and he talked about that. He's like, some of them look at me like, you can do that? You can do that?
Like, well, I can't. I'm not very fast, right? But you can.
Yeah, I'm not very fast. That's exactly what he said. I got chills though with that. I'm like, whoo, okay. Let's win some freaking football games.
Seriously. I got a text from somebody that was listening, and they said he feels like the offensive Nick Saban. Like the way he answers questions and this, like how process oriented he is. That's what it feels like. I know that's probably blasphemy.
Wouldn't that be great if that's what it turned out to be?
To say that, but they're like, that's kind of how the vibe that they're getting from him. And this was not an Auburn fan.
Who were they a fan of?
I believe it was actually a Tennessee fan. So they were a little bit biased.
They love him.
Yeah, they love him.
They love him.
Yeah.
Why are you talking to people that aren't Auburn fans? Is my question.
I talk to everybody, man. I talk to everybody.
You're such a guy. I love it. You're the man. You're the man. All right, let's talk about some of the portal buzz, because we saw reports of some names entering the portal. I don't think any of them are alarming, but some of the reports that we've seen so far, I think it lines up with what Alex Golesh said yesterday. That's next, right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at Game Time. The World Cup is coming. Wow. Did you know that?
I had no idea.
You do now. What if I told you it was the largest ever? 48 teams for the first time ever. It's going to be massive. And you're probably like, well, man, I bet it's really hard to get a ticket to this. It's not with Game Time. You can download the Game Time app. Use code LOCKEDONCollege. You get $20 off. And they've got tickets for everything. World Cup, sure. That's great. College basketball. Man, college basketball is about to get fun. I know we just got punched in the mouth. It's okay. It's about to get fun. It's about to get fun. But head over to the Game Time app. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Promo code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Game Time. Whoop. Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Kyle Rush hanging out with us. I'm Zach Blackerby. I think a lot of the things that Alex Golesh said when he was asked about the portal, I think it lines up with some of the reports that we've heard early on about guys who intend to enter the portal. Once again, we're going to try to be as correct as possible with this. Guys are not in the portal yet. They cannot enter the portal until January 2nd. These are reports of their intent to enter the portal. Just to be clear on that. And there's a few guys, right? And some are guys that I just forgot about. And then some are guys where it's like, okay, like, would I rather have Perry than not? Sure. But like focus everything you can on rebuilding that receiver room. Like you can win without Perry Thompson.
Sure.
But then there's guys like Antonio Coleman, right? And guys like that where, okay, like the impact could have been large. The NIL impact was like, you probably feel it, getting some of that back. And then you think about, okay, Alex Golesh just talking to the media, talking about, okay, yeah, you got to build it through the high school ranks, but you're going to have to use the portal. We're going to get guys who are instant impact guys, but we're also going to get guys who we use to kind of backfill. And I'm thinking about like that Coleman spot specifically, Antonio Coleman spot with him leaving. Like, do you get some defensive linemen that can play right now? And then you also get some defensive linemen that can play next year and the year after that. I think that's how you have to do it if you're Alex Golesh and this Auburn staff. And once again, like I think his awareness is on point right now.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's exactly what he talked about. Is like, hey, we may not be able to always go get those top guys. We may have to find, a freshman that, we may have missed out on one at signing day. We may have to go find a freshman or a sophomore to fill those, fill those holes. I mean, again, just seems like there's a plan for everything. When you're talking about Auburn players, I'm not saying we're not going to have casualties, because I'm sure that we obviously are. But I'm shocked at how not that many names have gone in. LSU's had several go in. They're starting to kind of fill up around the country, and Auburn really hasn't had many at all yet that are I guess of severe impact.
Yeah.
Coach Golesh mentioned sitting down with every single player one-on-one. Now that seems like impossible, but he's talking about how many he sat down with one-on-one, and you wonder if that's making an impact and making the decision a little bit tougher, maybe saving some guys that would have gone into the portal. We'll still have to see how that all plays out. But are you kind of shocked at the low number of guys so far that have entered?
No, I'm shocked it's as many as it is at this point.
Really?
Yeah, I thought the last few days of the month you'd feel it. I mean, we're kind of in this lull for a month where you can't do anything.
Yeah.
So, because once again, like they haven't entered as report of their intent that they're going to enter.
Correct.
And I do think that matters here.
But I mean, every guy that's entered though, like you got Jackson Arnold, Perry Thompson, Damari Austin. That didn't really count.
Yeah.
Ryan Strader, Antonio Coleman, and Caleb Wheatland. Like of those, only Perry Thompson really played, and he played sparingly. So like,
yeah,
I don't know. I'm thinking like big time guys. Like I was expecting,
I don't think
bigger guys to be gone.
I think those are going to happen the last few days of the calendar year.
Okay.
I think that's when that like
maybe,
the actual, and I think it's not going to be Auburn. I think it's everywhere. I think that last week is when you sit down, maybe after Christmas, that lull between Christmas and the new year. I think you're going to have a lot of hard conversations, not just at Auburn, everywhere. And it's like, this is our final number. We're going to enter the portal next week. And then boom, I think that happens.
So you think these guys are just getting ahead of the game, or these are guys that are were like, it ain't going to work? And
probably both.
A little bit of
probably
both.
I mean, I have a hard time imagining them sitting down with Perry and saying, you don't have a place here. Right.
Yeah. Maybe you're right.
Unless they're looking at compensation or what, like, we don't know the exact number that Perry was getting paid, but like, is there a chance that they sat down? It's like, there's no way we can make this work. Would you take less to play here? Like, I'm speculating. I have no clue.
Right.
Like that's the only way I could see them saying, no, Perry, you can't be here. The others. Yeah. That'd be, yeah.
I'll say this
a little
too.
Surprising, but like it makes sense. But
based off of what the way he talked about high school recruiting, if he was a part of that signing class that Antonio Coleman was in, I don't think he would have been an Auburn commit. I don't think Golesh would have taken him with all the
I think Hugh
with everything that's
Freeze cared more about recruiting rankings than Alex Golesh
And
does.
Golesh kind of made reference to that because someone asked him about how he recruited. And he's like, I think if you get caught looking at where you finish, he should have just come on out and said it. But if you get caught going for recruiting rankings, you end up with sometimes classes that don't fill all your needs.
Yeah.
And it seems like
he was like, look, and sometimes those will like overlap, right? Like you hope if you recruit well,
Yeah.
like, you know, you the rankings on y'all's website, you know, reflect that. But if they don't, like, you got to get the guys that are there. I also love where he talked about how he's never been big on winning signing day. It's like, yeah, we'll see in 2 years how he did. Like, that's right. That's correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Because again, if you win signing day, that means more than likely, unless, like you said, there's 100% overlap, you took some kids just for that winning of signing day that may not be really good fits. I think we did that a lot under.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the day
guys.
after the NFL draft. It's like, oh, so-and-so won the draft. Like, you don't know. You have no idea how this quarterback's going to develop.
Yeah.
The Patriots did win the draft last year, though. I mean, they're starting like 7 rookies. It's incredible.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
I don't care. 1%.
Well, you want me to be happy.
I do. I do want you to be happy.
So you care a little bit.
So I guess I do care a little bit. I lied.
Okay. I care when you hit a hole in one because it brings you happiness.
Doesn't
what are we doing
often.
here?
You're right. I take everything I said back.
Okay, great.
Go Pats.
Apology accepted. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. But yeah, all in all, super thrilled with everything Alex Golesh has done so far. I feel like he's been here longer than a week.
Yeah.
I feel much longer than that.
It's been a long week,
I guess. Yeah, gosh, I can't imagine. I mean, so much stuff has happened last 8 days, 9 days. So, Kyle, how can people check out everything you've got going on?
Absolutely. Go over to the Barn Auburn YouTube page. We have a couple of different membership levels. Obviously, you can subscribe for free, and then there's a couple of membership levels where we do members only videos. You got access to the message board, a lot of stuff there, and then anywhere you get a podcast, you just search the Barn Podcast Network.
Yep. And Brad Law and I have a show over there called Village Vice. So if you can't get enough of me talking, go over to the Barn Auburn for sure. Please like the video. Please subscribe. We'll see you next time. This has been Locked on Auburn.